teacher.
Hello, Monica. Do you have
How are you?
good audio today? Yes? No audio
Yes.
problems?
No.
No? Okay, that sounds good. Ready for another day, Monica. Monica Naranjo. That's your last name? Nah, it's Mejia.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. So the other ones are coming. So how is the job? Difficult, tiring, or relaxing? How is your job?
Mm, depending
Mm-hmm.
when
Relaxing?
the aircraft
Mm-hmm.
depends when the aircraft is dispatched is stressing.
When the aircraft is dispatch,
Dispatch
so
is stress.
it's stressful.
Yes.
Okay. Why is that stressful?
Mm, because the clothes and the all works for aircraft.
You need to close all the aircraft. Yes. Okay. Maybe yes. As all jobs, sometimes we have like relaxing time. Sometimes we have very difficult times, or sometimes we have like a very stressful times. And sometimes we have like happy moments, happy situation. For example, what do you do to relax at work? So what do you do? Do you implement any activity?
Uh,
Do you have something? Do you do something? No? And for example,
como que
yes. Mhm.
es como que hago en los tiempos libres, algo así.
No, no. For example, like there are some like working strategies, like strategies like when you're working, but you do some activities to relax, or activities to get rid of the stress, like remove the stress. There are some activities to remove the stress. Do you do any activity like that or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Like what do you,
I
for
have
example?
the activities.
Uh-huh. I have.
Mm, I have removed the parts of system the customer.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, like for example, my question is like actividades para relajarse en el trabajo cuando uno tiene bastante estrés. Hay tipos de como ciertas actividades como para de cierta manera darse un break, como dice uno, darse un break y hacer algo diferente y cambiar y luego regresar al trabajo con una nueva, podemos decir, energías. Do you do any activity maybe like a stretch out, like estiramiento, stretch out, right? That's one.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't have the activity.
no activities, or like for example, in your break, maybe you go to the cafeteria for a coffee or a soda or something, a drink, and you relax a little bit, or maybe you do some games,
Or
activities,
maybe
mhm,
listen to music.
or you listen
It's
to music.
relaxing.
Yeah, listening to music is very relaxing. I love music. Music is like when I'm maybe not when I'm working, right? Because when I'm working, the noise, I don't like noise, so they know. But when I'm doing other activities, yes, I love music. Like,
Yes.
or maybe, for example, like other activities, like maybe drinking something or eating
Watch
something. So
vi-
that will help you to relax a little bit.
watch videos.
Watch videos. Okay, and you as a company, do you have like any like how can I tell you, like group activities? Maybe? No, like for example, in some companies, every week they give like chocolates to everybody. Okay, or maybe there's cake for people. No, or maybe a soda for everybody. Or in other companies, they have
No.
like exercising activities. No? Exercising like, okay,
Maybe.
after finishing working, there are like a spinning classes, exercising classes, or dancing classes. Some companies, they have dancing classes. So you can see all the employees exercising and dancing. That's really nice. Those strategies are really good, to release the stress, because you're sitting down all day long, and then after you finish, so then you go to a Zumba class maybe, and then exercising, moving. So that's very nice. Don't you have things like that in
No,
your
teacher.
company? No,
No,
no, nothing.
No.
no.
Or how about for example,
Nothing.
maybe like like tournaments, like internal tournaments. Like tournaments is like, okay, we're
Mm,
gonna have some basketball tournament, or soccer tournament, como, como torneos de basquetbol o de fútbol entre los mismos empleados, ¿no?
No, teacher.
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
in different
Mhm.
environment, yes, I have. I have a tournament
And
basketball, and woman and man.
Mayor, no.
Women and men, right? Different. Yes, all the activities.
Yes, yes, a
It's
different
it's
tournament.
It's really nice. Yes. Yeah, those are some good some like strategies to help people to release this stress. When you practice any sport, is really healthy. Sports are really nice. It all depends, right? All companies have different strategies. So well, everybody's coming. So Peter is back. Wendy is back. Yes.
Teacher, my
Yes.
my peer is my peer. The
Your peer
class
is
class.
Peter. Yes.
Yes.
She didn't remember you. Okay, like Monica, this is Peter, my friend. His name is his name is Peter, and he also works at Ironman. Yes, and sometimes that happens. I sometimes we recognize people through their faces, but we don't remember names. Yeah, and that happens to everybody, right? You recognize a person, but you don't remember the name, or probably I don't remember where I met this person, right? That's the first question. It's like sometimes I have met a lot of people, right? It's like students. I have met a lot of people from Ironman too, and sometimes they say, "Hey, teacher, how are you?" And then like, "I'm good. And how about you?" Good, right? But I have no idea about the person. Like I don't remember their names at that moment. But that's common. That's very common. Good. So, did you do the exercises that I sent you about adverbs of frequency? And that's what we're gonna do today. And today we have speaking. Remember the adverbs of frequency. Let me do something little quick. Um, let me see. Robert, when I say, for example, like 30% of the time, what is the adverbs of frequency for 30%?
30%.
30%. What is the adverb of frequency?
It's seldom.
Seldom,
Seldom.
seldom, like a few times. Good. Daisy, when do I use once in a blue moon?
Lo puedo decir en español.
In English, in English. Tell me in English. Uh-huh.
Um, when you hardly ever do an activity,
Exactly.
maybe.
When you hardly ever do an activity, like for example, you asked me yesterday, hey, teacher, how often do you go to a party? And I said, I go to a party once in a blue moon, like every 10 years, maybe. Probably. I don't like parties, but okay, it's understandable. So then, yes, good. So I would say, Monica, 10%. What is the average of frequency for
10%.
10%? Uh-huh.
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever. Okay. Clara, 70%. What is the average of frequency? Clara, what is the adverse of frequency? Clara, can you hear me? Okay, let's see. Mr. Rivas, help us. What is it? What is the 70%?
Frequently.
It's frequently, or you can say often. Often. I often go to church, right? Or I often go running. It's like
Often.
70% of our time,
Okay.
right? How about, for example, Peter, when I say like 40%, what is the 40%? Yes, Peter, your audio? You are a mute, I think.
Often.
Yes, but often is
Often.
70%. 70% of the time is often. But when I say like 40%, it's less than 50, like 40%.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, it's related, but sometimes it's like 50. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, like 50. So let me see, Daisy, helping. What is the 40%?
Occasionally.
It's
I
okay.
don't know.
It's
Okay.
occasionally,
Normally.
occasional.
Occasionally.
But
Okay.
normally
Okay.
is, what is normally? Which percentage is normally? Normally is,
90.
90%.
it's
90%.
90%. Is like when you say almost always, almost always. Someone is gonna say like, I normally drink coffee in the morning. So that means that it's like almost all the time you drink coffee. Probably 1 day or 2 days, no, but the most of the day, yes. So that's normally, yes. For example, I normally take a shower at 8 a.m. in the morning. I normally, sometimes at 5 a.m. or sometimes at 9, but normally at 8. So it's like something that is almost always. And how about, for example, when I said, let me see, 50%, Wendy, what is the 50%? 50% of the time.
I don't know.
Okay, don't worry. Let me see. Blanca, what is it?
Sometimes.
It's sometimes, sometimes. So remember, 100% always, right? An activity that we always do, that is 100% of our time. Like Mr. Rico, let me see, combing your hair. Is that always, sometimes, normally, usually, hardly ever, or never?
Always.
Always, right? So that is 100%. I always cut my hair. Yes. And then we have the other one is 90%. What is the 90%? It's normally, right? And
Normally.
80%?
Normal.
Normally.
80%?
General.
Generally.
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 Usually.
Generally.
And
General.
80%?
Yes.
It's
Generally.
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 And
Generally.
70%? 70%?
Usually.
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 And 60%?
Frequently. Often. Often.
Frequently,
Often.
or you can say
Frequently.
often.
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 Often, often, no T pronunciation, no often, it's just often. Okay, 50%,
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
sometimes, okay, 40%,
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
occasionally, right? I occasionally, it's like, means that not very often, good. You do one activity, and how about 20%? I'm sorry, 30%. 30%
Seldom.
is
Seldom.
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 Yeah,
Seldom.
seldom, not Sheldon. Sheldon is the Big Bang Theory actor, right? The character, that's Sheldon. But this is seldom. Okay, and the 20%
Rarely.
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 is rarely. Yeah, you need to make a rarely. It's a rarely, yeah. And 10%?
Hardly ever.
Ever.
It's
Hardly ever.
hardly ever. It's an activity that you don't do very often. It's like casi nunca. I hardly ever, right? Hardly ever do something. So those are The vocabulary that I gave you yesterday, adverbs of frequency that we need to work on. So we have like, let me grade it here for the ones that were not in class yesterday. So you need to have this because we're gonna be talking about this. 100% is always. Good.
Always.
90% is
Always.
normally.
Only.
Good. The
Normally.
generally is the 80%. Good. 70% is like usually. Okay. 60% is like often or frequently. The 50% is sometimes. Okay. 40% occasionally. The 30% is seldom. No, seldom.
Seldom.
Seldom. It's like 30% of your time you do an activity. Like maybe not very. The 20 will be rarely. I rarely, and the other one is like hardly ever,
Never.
and the last one is
Hardly ever.
never. Never.
Never.
Never. Yes. Like for example, I'm gonna say Israel Rivas. How often do you drink tequila in the morning?
Never.
Never. Are you
Never in my
sure?
life.
Is that true, Robert?
Yes. I'm very sure.
Okay.
Yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true. Okay, okay, okay. All right. It's just never. No, I believe you. I never. And the structure, as I said yesterday, we need to follow an structure. When you have, for example, I need to have first, when you give an answer, you need to have the verb. I'm sorry,
Subject.
subject. You need to have the subject. What is the subject? I, we, you, they, he, she, it, right? So you need the subject or you need the name like, for example, Daisy, Robert, Peter, Monica. So you need a name. That is the subject. I can say like, Daisy always takes a shower before the class. If you look, Daisy, she's always like with a wet hair. So that means that she always takes a shower before the class. So Daisy is the subject. And then after the
Oh,
subject, yes. After the subject, I need the adverbs of frequency. I need
okay.
the adverb. What is the adverb? Always, normally, usually, generally, occasionally, sometimes, seldom, rarely, hardly ever, never. So we need the adverbs of frequency. And then after the adverbs of frequency, I need the action verb. The verb, like I always go. She never goes, right? We sometimes play. They occasionally dance. She rarely cooks at home. Like for example, let me see it. Who's the, okay? Tatiana. Tatiana always cooks for the family, right, Tatiana?
No, teacher.
What is the adverb of frequency? Mm-hmm.
Never.
Tatiana always cooks for the family, right? Or she says she never cooks for the family. Okay. And then I just need a compliment. And I need a compliment. This is when you have regular verbs. I mean, action verbs. What are the action verbs? All the verbs that are not the verb to be. Those are action verbs like go, play, study, come, buy, travel, eat, drink. Those are action verbs. But then we have another exception when you have the verb to be. When you have the verb to be, it's different. The position of the adverbs of frequency is different. As always, you need the subject. You need subject. That's mandatory. Always, all sentences must have a subject. And then with regular verbs, normal verbs, you use adverb and then verb. But in this case, we need to have the verb to be first. What is the verb to be? Am is are. Am is are. And then I need the adverbs of frequency. The adverb, and later I need the complement. And that is the difference. Look the position. When I have a normal verb, I use subject, adverb, and verb. But when I have the verb to be, I use subject, verb to be, adverb, and the complement. So the verb to be is before. Let's make some examples. Okay, so I can say we never go to a party. We subject, never adverbs of frequency. Go the verb, complement to a party. But then, for example, when I use the verb to be, when I use the verb to be, like for example, I would say, okay, let me see here. Subject, what will be a subject? Alejandra, right? Is the subject. I will use the verb to be is. Alejandra is adverbs of frequency? Never. Is never late for the class. Okay? Alejandra is never late for the class. So I have the verb to be, right? Alejandra nunca está tarde en las clases. That's impossible. It's not right. Right, Alejandra? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Okay. If you follow
Right.
this, if you say Alejandra never is, it's incorrect. Is not correct. So I need to have the verb to be first here. So Alejandra is never late for the class. So remember, when you have a normal verb, subject, adverb, and the verb. But when you have the verb to be, so subject, verb to be, and then the adverb is never late for class. Another example, for example, I can say they are always eating. Let me see at the cafeteria. For example, if you see every time that they have break, every time they break, for example, imagine that Rover and his brother, they always have break at the same time. Imagine at 10 a.m. in the morning, but they are always at the cafeteria at that time. You will always see them at the cafeteria. So they are always at the cafeteria. So that's how we use the adverbs of frequency, right? This can tell us how often we do an activity. Like for example, let me see, Emerson Rico, how often do you eat out? Eat out. How often do you eat out?
Um, occasionally.
But give me follow the structure: subject, adverb, verb, and complement.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I am occasionally eat out.
Yes, but in this case, remember the verb is eat, so we don't need the verb to be am. In this case, you need to know if it is
Okay.
verb to be or
Uh,
the other verb. Okay, in this case, we don't need verb to be. The question that we
uh,
practiced a little bit yesterday, sorry, it was like how often, right? Do you eat out? Eat out means in a restaurant, outside, in a restaurant. So how often do you eat out? ¿Qué tan seguido va come en un restaurante? Ujú. Mr. Rico?
uh, I I occasionally
Mhm.
eat go out in
I
the restaurant.
yeah, I occasionally eat out in a restaurant, right? I occasionally eat out in a restaurant. Yes, it's okay. And like for example, let me see, Blanca, another question for Blanca. How often do you download music?
I hardly ever download music.
I hardly ever download music. Okay, there you go. And let me see, another one. Let me see, Mr. Carvalho. Um, let me see. How often do you ride bikes? How often do you ride a bike?
I sometimes ride a bike.
I sometimes ride a bike. Okay, there you go. Israel Rivas, how often do you ride a horse?
um, I I heard
Uh-huh.
once. ¿Cómo vamos a say?
Uh-huh.
I have never ride horse.
Horse. I hardly ever ride a horse, right? I hardly ever ride a
Uh-huh.
horse. Okay, good. Let me see another one, for example, let me see Monica. Monica, let me see how often do you make your bed?
Do you
Do you
repeat, please?
make yeah, how often do you make your bed? How often do you make your bed?
I always, I always make my bed.
I always make my bed. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me see, Peter. How often do you fight with your coworkers?
Hardly ever.
I hardly ever
I
fight.
hardly ever. I hardly ever fight with my workers,
Okay,
co-workers.
good. Coworkers. Thank you. Let me see, for example, another one. Manuel, how often do you find money?
I hardly ever find money.
I hardly ever find money. Okay, there you go, right? So we need to use this adverb of frequency, like always. Do not say always. It's not it's all. Always. Normally, generally, usually. It's not usually, it's you. Usually, do not say often. I'm sorry, often. It's often. And this one is sometimes, the M pronunciation. The M. Do you have questions with this? Questions? No questions?
No.
No. Okay, good. And yesterday we have, I said, once in a blue moon, right? It's like when we said al tiempo, a las 500, o cuando los ¿qué? What was it, Tatiana, the expression?
Cuando los
What was it?
Cuando los cerdos vuelen.
Cuando los cerdos vuelan. Means that it doesn't happen very often, right? And every now and then, this is another expression. Every now and then. Every now and then. What is that? Nolia, what is every now and then? It's
De vez en cuando.
de vez en cuando, right? De vez en cuando. How often do you buy a six pack? How often do you buy six packs?
Every weekend.
Every weekend,
Doctora,
every now and then, right?
Usually.
Usually, right? I usually buy some six packs. All right, good. That's good. Or you can say I every now and then, right? Every now and then. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. So that's the adverb of frequency. And we're gonna practice. I have some questions to practice, and then you need to find people. Let me see if I have that. We're gonna practice some questions, and then you need to find people who, like this. Like for example, sometimes it's in a restaurant, never does any sport or exercise. Okay, like for example, let me see. Let me ask someone. Um, Wendy, how often do you exercise? Depending what you say, how often do you exercise, Wendy?
¿Cuántos ejercicios hice?
No, how often do you exercise?
¿Cuándo?
How often? Remember the question, how
Ah,
often?
ya.
How often do you exercise?
I never
Exercise, right?
exercise.
Okay, so then the name, right? So I need to write here, oh, Wendy. Wendy never exercise. Okay. The other one, for example, here, I would say, let me see, do we have, Alejandra, how often do you go to the hairdresser?
Never.
But give me the whole
I
expression.
never.
I
I
never go.
never heard
I never
go
go. The verb,
heard.
hairdresser.
Yes.
I never go to the hairdresser. Okay. The other one, for example, let me see here. Let me get another one here. Tatiana, how often do you watch TV?
I always watch TV
In the morning or in the afternoon?
in the evening
In the evening,
after work.
after work. Okay, so they
Yeah.
know. Let me ask another one here. Let me see. Elizabeth, right? Are you always late to classes? Hmm.
Uh, I usually,
Okay, I
I
am usually
usually
late for.
late. I
I am
for
usually late for classes, or I'm hardly ever late for classes. Well, it depends, right? It depends. Always drink coffee in the morning. I think that's common to everybody. Let me see, go to the cinema. Okay, let me get someone here. Nolia, how often do you go to the cinema? Cinema? Movies, Cinemark.
Mm, I rarely
Mhm.
go to the cinema.
I early go to the cinema. Okay, good. Let me see, Susana. And how often do you sleep in the afternoon?
I hardly ever
Mhm.
sleep in the afternoon.
I hardly ever sleep in the afternoon. Okay. Clara, how often do you read the newspaper? How often do you read the newspaper? Mhm. How often do you
Mm,
read the newspaper?
I am usually the newspaper.
Read the newspaper. But remember, I am is the verb to be. No se puede mezclar el verbo to be con otro verbo. En este caso, el verbo read es leer. Entonces, no puedo decir I am usually read. No, solo tiene que seleccionar I usually read the newspaper, or I sometimes uh, read the newspaper. And then I have a bunch of questions that yesterday we were trying to practice, and we didn't have enough time, but today we have many activities like this. It says, for example, like, how often do you travel? How often do you go to the dentist? How often do you go to church? How often do you eat candies? Let me see, Manuel, how often do you eat candies? Manuel, how often do you eat candies?
I rarely eat
I
candies.
eat candies. How about ice cream? How often do you eat ice cream?
Never.
Never?
I
Okay.
never eat
You
ice
never
cream.
ice cream. You never eat ice cream? Really? I don't believe it, but it's
Yes.
okay. You don't like ice cream?
No, I don't like. I don't like.
Sweet things. I don't like sweet things. Okay. Nice. Let me see, for example, the other one. Good. Let me see. Blanca, how often do you take, let me see, do you take your English classes to study? I mean, how often do you
I
read a book in
always.
English? You always do it? Okay. Sounds good. And I have a lot of
Yes, I
questions to
am.
practice. Good. Let me see here. How often do you go shopping mall? Mall to the mall? Like, what is it? La Gran Via, Galerías, Metro Centro, a mall. How often do you go shopping in the mall? Let me see. Susana, how often do you go shopping in the mall?
And the mall.
Mall, to the mall. How often do you go
Um,
shopping?
I usually
Uh-huh.
go to the shopping mall.
Okay, to the shopping mall. Yeah, okay, sounds good. And let me see here. Mr. Rico, how often do you eat fast food?
Excuse me.
How often, it says here, how often do you eat fast food?
Let me see.
Okay.
Um, I always eat fast food.
I always eat fast food. Okay, it's delicious, right? Fast food, everything.
Yes,
When I say fast
yes,
food, is like
very
tortas,
delicious.
hamburgers, pizza. Yes, all right. How often? Good. So let me see. How about you, Mr. Rico? Emerson Rico? How often do you eat pizza, for example?
Uh, I seldom eat pizza.
All right, sounds good. And how about you, Wendy? How often do you eat pizza?
I sometimes
I sometimes eat
pizza.
eat
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 pizza.
pizza. Don't forget the verb. Yeah, I know people that,
Eat,
for example,
eat
they
pizza.
eat pizza every day. Unbelievable, but it's every day. They eat pizza all day, all the days in the week. Is their favorite food.
No escuchamos, teacher.
You cannot
Teacher
listen.
is mute.
Teacher.
It's
No se
mute.
oye.
Yes.
Can you
No.
hear
No.
me? No.
Now, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, right now.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
Yes.
I hit it. I hit the mute. Yes. So yeah, some people depending right your style, but some people they always eat fast food. They always eat like a pizza. Some people are crazy about pizza. They love pizza, so they really enjoy it. But it's up to everybody. Okay, here we go. We
Like
are
pupusas.
like pupusas. Yeah, pupusas are really good. But for me, the best pupusas are from Los Planes. Yeah, I think are the best pupusas that I have tried, Los Planes. Everybody says Oloquilta, Oloquilta, and I have gone to Oloquilta at different places and it's not the same. It's better Los Planes. Definitely it's better. It's because probably I'm hungry right now.
The Bolivar Park is better.
I don't know, but in that place they have really good Bolivar Park. I don't know what is that, but it must be good then. It must be good. Okay, here we go in pairs, and I'm gonna send you these questions right now. Okay, everybody, now you have to accept that invitation and practice those questions.
Oh, only that two questions?
No, I'm gonna send you a lot of questions to the group. I'm gonna send you those questions to the group.
Okay.
Okay.
in the midnight of the night?
How often co- wake up in the middle? ¿Qué cuánto?
No,
Maybe.
no translation.
No.
How often do you wake up in the middle of the night, like at
Wake up.
like midnight? That you wake up at midnight, right? So how often do you wake up? Like, for example, you go to sleep at 10 p.m., 11, 12, and then at 1, you wake up. How often do you wake up in the middle of the night? Like 1 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m.?
You wake up. Wake up in the midnight.
I never wake up at midnight.
At midnight,
Because
okay.
I go to sleep at midnight.
Okay, that's a valid reason. That's understandable. I never wake up at midnight because I go to sleep at midnight. Okay, it's valid. Okay, continue. Yeah. How often do you go to
How
church?
often do you take? How often do you take your English book to study? Book.
I usually take my English book to study.
Okay.
Okay. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? How often do you have English class?
Can you
Usually practice sport.
I usually practice sport, right? Okay, continue.
You, Claire?
Frequently practice sport?
Okay.
How often do you brush your teeth?
Okay, good
I
question.
I I always brush my thing.
Brush.
Teacher, I
It's
have a
brush.
question.
Yes.
Brush. So se puede decir como 3 times a day.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I usually, I normally, or I always brush my teeth 3 times a day. I always brush my teeth 3 times a day or 3 times at night. It depends. Yes, you can. Okay,
And you,
continue.
Clarita?
How about you, Clarita?
Go swimming. I love it. I went
Swimming in the piscina or
Swimming pool. Swimming pool.
Espera, permítame, que no sé por qué esto le agarra, tengo que estarlo quitando. Yes?
Yes, I went to swimming pool.
And where do you usually go? Where do you go swimming?
Before the pandemic, I always went to a swimming pool.
Where?
I went to Olímpica, creo. I think that its name.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay.
How often do you brush? How often do you brush your teeth?
Brush, remember? Brush and teeth. Teeth.
Sorry,
Teeth.
brush.
No teeth. Yeah, that's a very private question.
Okay,
So,
teeth.
yeah, it's how often do you brush
Okay.
your teeth? Teeth, not teeth.
Okay, teeth.
I always.
Okay.
I always what, Tatiana? I always.
I always brush my teeth because I have bracket. So
Okay.
I did to brush.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
How often do you listen to music?
I always listen to music.
Relax. For relax. For relax.
Just in the,
Okay.
in
What
in the
type
day.
the music?
Seldom. Pocas veces
Pocas
y
veces.
el
Huh?
30%.
Seldom.
Okay.
What happened with seldom? What is the
I don't
question?
know
Seldom.
The meaning. Oh.
I need yeah, uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay,
The
great.
meaning.
Yeah. Yes, when you say, yeah, you know, adverse of frequency is like, will tell you like how frequent or how often we repeat an action, right? So that will tell us like the time, the percentage of our, you know, activities. Like for example, how often do you go to the beach, for example, right? So it will depend. If you ask Blanca, is almost every day, but in our case, maybe it's like
Uh-huh.
hardly ever, or maybe once or twice in a year. I go to the beach.
Uh-huh.
I don't go to the beach very often, but in my
Uh-huh.
case, it's like I hardly ever go to the beach. And how about you, Manu?
I hardly ever.
You hardly ever. Yeah, I prefer the green places. I prefer green areas. I love trees.
Uh-huh.
So I prefer green areas than the beach.
Like Boquerón.
Oh yes, like Boquerón or any other
No.
like maybe green places.
Bicentenario.
Bicentenario. Oh yes, Bicentenario is really
Okay.
nice. So yeah, I prefer. I
When
only
the
go. I
when the
only
quarantine
quarantine. Uh-huh.
when the quarantine is over,
Hmm.
I go to the beach.
Oh
I
yes,
go out run
to run at the beach.
desperate.
Desperate. Yeah.
No, no, no. Salí corriendo para la playa.
I was running to the beach. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I only go to the beach maybe like once or twice a year, but when I have time, I go more often. But I only go for the seafood. For the seafood, I
Uh-huh.
really love the seafood.
Yeah,
Yes.
Seafood soup. Seafood soup.
me too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sopa de mariscos, right?
Yes.
Mariscada.
Crema de sopa de marisco or mariscada con crema, something like that. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's very
Uh-huh.
delicious.
Yes.
That's the only way. With
I love that.
Yes.
yeah, when I go to, for example, I'm from La Union, and you know, in La Union we have a lot of beaches around. We have
Uh-huh.
I met Tunco. I met other beaches here, and I went to, what is it? This famous beach is like I forgot the name, but it's going to
Mahagua.
Zacatecoluca. No, going to Zacatecoluca.
Um, Costa del Sol.
Costa del Sol. Yes, Costa del Sol.
Palmarcito.
Yeah, Costa del Sol, but
Tamarindo.
I didn't like Costa del Sol. I prefer other beaches. Definitely, I love La Union beaches. Like, for example, Las Tunas is a very famous beach, and it's very nice.
Yes.
And but in La Union, there's
Uh,
another.
uh,
Yes, and
Lástima que muy lejos.
yeah, it's far. I know it's far, but there's one specific beach that we go. Normally, it's our favorite. Every time that we go to the beach, we go to that one. It's a very small one. It's a small beach, and they have the best soup that I have tried. The best soup, and also when you are in this beach,
Oh, really?
you can see the islands, all the islands. You can see like
Oh,
Zacatillo Island, you can see Perico Island, you can see Conchahuita Island, and you can see some islands from Honduras. So when you go there, it's like it's
no.
very nice because you see the green places. It's green and at the same time it's the beach. So I don't
Is
know. Uh-huh.
is next to Golfo de Fonseca.
Oh yes, definitely. It's part of Golfo de Fonseca. So you can see the islands over there.
What's the name?
It's Playitas.
Las Tunas.
No, Playitas is different.
Okay.
Yes, it's called Playitas La Union. It's a small beach, but we love the seafood is excellent there, and also You can see the islands. All the islands are in front of this beach, and you can take like a tour, and you can go there and you know and visit all the places, all the islands. Islands. Understand the word islands?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
islands are
Yes.
the what is it? Islas, las islas. You
Uh-huh.
yeah. So yeah, it's very
The S doesn't pronounce
yeah. We don't pronounce
pronunciation
yeah.
Isla.
We don't pronounce
island.
the we don't say yeah. We don't say isla. We say island. Yes, we don't pronounce is I island. This one
Oh,
here.
I guess.
Look, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is the
Mm.
beach, right? Look, here we have a big island. This is the Conchahuita island. Next to this one, there's Zacatillo Island. After this one, there's Perico Island. That's the name. And after this, there's another one, and you can see the Honduras Islands. And the water is very calm.
Wow.
So this is our favorite because you have an excellent view. You enjoy a really nice seafood.
And the weather
The weather?
very hot.
No, it's not very
The
hot
weather.
because you get the beach weather. It's very fresh. And in this place there are some
Uh-huh.
hammocks that you can rent and then you can have good time. Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
place that we
Sounds
go.
And
nice.
you are the La Unión.
Yeah, I'm from La
You
Union.
are
Yeah.
you are, mhm.
Mm.
But Unión
Yeah.
cabecera
No, yeah, I'm from La Union, but um,
Santa Rosa de Lima.
no. It's La Union Center, but then I live in a place that is called Conchagua. Conchagua La Union. So I don't live
Uh-huh.
downtown. I live like out town. It's Conchagua. It's a very fresh
Uh,
and touristic place. If you go to Conchagua, it's a very
right now
nice.
you are in Conchagua.
No, right now I'm in Lourdes. All my family is
Ah,
from
okay, okay.
Conchagua. Everybody. But
Uh-huh.
then I don't have like family here, like from my mother, my brother, my sisters. I don't, but the rest, yes. But if you go to Conchagua, it's like if
Uh-huh.
you're going to Boquerón, and we have a very famous touristic place. This one, can you see the pictures?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Sí,
Look.
siempre he querido ir ahí.
I practices the trail
Yeah.
in that place.
Yes. This is look
Yeah.
when you are here, in the top here, it's the same, right? This is near the beach, so you can see all the islands. This is Honduras. And then if you go to the maybe to the place, this is Conchagua, the area, and so there are a lot of basically like this the view. It's like a town, but it's really friendly place. And it's really fresh because it's like going to the volcano. So it's very fresh. A lot of people
Mm.
go there because
Really?
of the weather. So that's why when I said, you're from La Union, oh, that's extremely hot. And I said, no, but
Yeah.
I'm from a place where it's colder than here. Here is very hot, but there is not. It's colder than here, but it's. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. I
I
let you.
visit
Huh?
Santa Rosa de Lima,
Oh, that's
and the weather is horrible.
that is terrible. The
This is
weather, the weather is terrible. Santa Rosa de Lima, even at night, you
yeah,
cannot sleep. It's terrible. Yeah, that place is really hot.
it's terrible.
Okay, continue. Sorry. Let me visit the other people.
Okay,
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 I'll continue.
okay.
Sorry, I got
Okay.
excited talking about it. Hello, Nolia. Hello. What happened? Did you have problems with the internet?
The internet.
Oh, the
Por
internet. Right?
raining, ¿cómo se dice yo? ¿Está lloviendo?
It's raining. It's raining. Yes. And that's understandable. Yes, it's
It's
raining.
raining.
In some places, it's raining a lot. And right now, yes, we got Luisito. Who's Luisito? Oh, it's Flor. Flor, could you change the name to? Well, she got disconnected. Yes, and so where do you live, Nolia?
I live in Nacatepeque.
Tonacatepeque. Okay. And it's raining right now there. I see. Is it hot or is it fresh?
Fresh.
It's fresh. Tonacatepeque is fresh.
Sí.
Okay. Yeah, they have
No sé cómo se dice que hay bastantes arbolitos.
a lot of trees. It's a green place. Okay. I listened that in Tonacatepeque they have like a tradition, right? What is it? There's a festival in that place that I forgot.
Calaviusa.
What is it?
Yes,
La
the
calaviusa.
calaviusas.
La
La
Calaviu. Yeah,
Calaviusa.
Calaviusa. Okay, I was reading What is that?
Yes.
What is Calaviusa? Calaviusa.
Calaviusa is a celebration of Tonacatepeque when you ¿cómo se dice repartir? What do you say repartir?
You share. You give away.
Okay, you keep away candy of no acuerdo cómo se dice. I don't remember what to say. Calabaza.
Calabazas.
O sea,
Oh,
dulce
like
de camote, dulce de calabaza.
Pumpkin.
pumpkin.
Ayote en miel.
Ayote en
Pumpkin.
miel, yes.
Pumpkin.
Ayote en
Pumpkin.
miel.
And camote is like a camote in English is like sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato, right? You got potato, but
Sweet
then
potato.
camote is the sweet potato. Yes.
So,
So,
Okay.
camote and pumpkin is similar.
no, they're not similar. When pumpkin es como calabaza, también es ayote. In our language, you can also say ayote.
Yes, correct.
All right. But when you
That's correct.
said
It's ayote, ayote miel.
Pero but camote is different. It's very different. So what is the celebration? You go to that place and they give you this food. Maybe? Or what is it? Or you need to buy? Or what is the procedure? What is the process?
No, you go to the town of Tonacatepeque leather to artificial, ¿cómo se dice? Fuegos artificiales.
Fireworks. Okay.
Leather the fireworks. You go to the candy. I sometimes place what the yes.
It's like Halloween. Halloween
It's free.
It's for free. Okay, it's like Halloween people collecting candy, especially kids.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good to know.
The people.
Similar.
¿Cómo se dice disfraza?
Disguise. People disguise.
Okay. People disguise about the mythical monster.
Monster?
For example, Chipitillo, Ciguanaba.
Salvadorian mythology.
Yes, Salvadorian mythology.
That's a Ciguanaba, Cipitillo. Correcto.
Cadejo.
Salvadorian myth is like the Ciguanaba, el Cipitillo, el padre sin cabeza.
Really? Okay. That sounds interesting. Yeah, it's just good to know new things. Yeah. The problem right now is like when you go to another place, like that you don't know if it is safe, if it is secure, but I don't know why, you know, these people is like that. People fighting for their own places. It's like you cannot visit this place because this is our place. How crazy, right? But hopefully one day we're gonna be free to go to places with no problems, that we can make friends everywhere. Hopefully, like Martin Luther
Robert
King.
visit,
Uh-huh. Robert visit
Robert visit, Robert visit the Calabusa
okay
every year.
every year. Okay, that's nice. Sounds
Yes,
good.
yes.
Very good. Calabusa. I need to read about Calabusa. Okay, we're gonna have a short practice here, which is about adverbs of frequency. Like for example, it says we always have green tea. Green tea. Like Peter, how often do you drink green tea?
Hardly ever.
I hardly ever. Yes, I basically I never drink green tea. I don't like tea. Tea is like for me, it doesn't have a flavor.
Delicious.
It's delicious. Okay, maybe. In my case, it's like
Yes.
I don't like it that much. I feel it like
But,
yes, like I
vanilla
remember
tea?
vanilla. I don't like tea
Vanilla
in
tea.
general. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
some people love it. I
No,
know that.
peppermint.
Nothing. Nope. 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 No green tea.
No.
I
Ice
love
cream,
Orange.
black
I drink
Iced
black
coffee.
tea.
tea.
I love black coffee.
I
Listo.
drink black
Not
tea.
rico. I don't like rico. It's listo. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna listen to a short conversation. They're talking about like some traditions, and that's what we're gonna do. Some traditions, different traditions. Like what they do, they always, for example, if you compare the Japanese people, they eat. Imagine fish for breakfast. And it's similar with the Korean people. They have a very strange, well, not as strange, but their eating habit is different. For example, I used to go to a Korean company to teach English, but they always, for lunch, they always have like a garlic salad. A garlic salad,
Ensalada
una,
de ajo.
una ensalada de ajo,
Kimchi.
prácticamente. I don't know what is the name, but es una ensalada de ajo prácticamente. Tienen como una gran en recipiente donde tienen el ajo como que si fuera repollo, bien picadito. So it's like you drink the soup and then yeah you take part of the garlic. It's their culture, right? They always have that. It's very strange. And the soups are different. The soup is like they got the noodles and they got the water. Es como que la sopa es preparada aparte y los espaguetis se preparan aparte. Pero al momento de servirse, usted agarra su porción de agua y ahí pone los noodles, los espaguetis. Y luego los revuelve y le echa el
Pero
kimchi y todo lo demás, and then sausages, and then it's good.
Maruchan.
I don't know. Looks like Maruchan, but it's different. So they have a different style. Maruchan. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, right? Sometimes Maruchan is anyway. But yeah, Maruchan is, yeah, if you know how to prepare them, they're good. Okay. It's a conversation about two people with two different cultures. And let me know if you can see it. Okay.
Page 61. Exercise 6. Conversation.
Listen.
We always have green tea.
We always.
Listen and practice.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese-style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
All right. Good. Let me get Kaito and Eva. Okay, Monica, you're Eva. And let me see, Mr. Rico, you are Kaito. Read it, please.
What is typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually have a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice very nice of you. Thanks.
All right, that's very nice of you. And this one is Japanese. Japanese style. Japanese style. Good. Let me get another Kaito, another Eva. Let me see. Alejandra, Eva, and Manu, Kaito.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish or for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
That's very nice of you. Thanks. Good. So who has like a very unique breakfast style? What is the Salvadorian breakfast style? What do we normally have for breakfast?
Pupusas and coffee.
Nicaragua is milk.
Okay.
Pupusas, semita, and coffee.
Okay. A big semita, right? A big semita.
Yeah, double piso.
Okay. Yeah. Normally, pupusas.
Yeah.
Okay. But but if you have like a regular breakfast,
Siempre tamal.
yeah, tamales are common. But normally, for example, I normally have like what? Beans, eggs, and different styles. Cheese.
Fried bananas.
Plantain, because bananas are the regulars that you can eat. But when you fry them, they are called plátano, right? Plantain, fried plantains, and maybe cheese, cream, and coffee. Never green tea or whatever kind of tea. But some people they do, right? Some people say I always have like cornflakes with milk. That's my breakfast. That could be different.
Cereal, yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
Is that your common breakfast, or only pupusas? All right.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Oh, pancakes. Pancakes with honey, or like oat with milk. Avena con leche. Oat with milk, maybe.
Yes.
Hardly. I hardly ever have oat, but do it every day. Yes. How about for breakfast?
In Ireland,
Huh?
In Iron Man eat pan.
In Iron Man?
Yes, it's a very popular.
What is popular in Iron
Panes
Man?
mateniño.
Panestula.
Panestula o panes matabicho.
Oh, okay.
Panes
Panes
chucos.
matabicho. Those are the large ones, right? They are big ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like hot dog.
Like hot dogs. Like choris, but choris are really good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're gonna have a short listening. Here, you need to write down on your notebook and you need to copy, like for example, here, let me see, Susana, read the indications.
Devon and Victoria are talking about food. How often does Victoria eat these foods? Listen and check. Often, sometime, or never.
Okay, often, sometimes, or never. And we have some like food here. The first one is, let me see, let me get a floor. Read the first one. The first vocabulary is floor.
Noodles.
It's noodles.
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 Chicken.
Noodles.
Fish. Egg. No. Noodles.
Noodles. Noodles.
Noodles.
What are noodles? What are noodles? Everybody, what are noodles? Thank you, Flor. What are noodles? Noodles are similar like spaghetti, but they are a little bit different, but they're very similar. So you need
Fideos.
Again, fideos?
Fideos.
Yeah, yeah. They're a little bit different from spaghettis. So you need to listen and write down how often she eats, you know, these things like noodles, chicken, fish, eggs, and carrots. Carrots. Carrots.
Page 62. Exercise 8.
Listen and
Listening.
copy.
Carrots are my favorite. Part A. Devon and Victoria are talking about food. How often does Victoria eat these foods? Listen and check often, sometimes, or never.
Never.
So, what looks good, Victoria?
I don't know yet.
Well, the soup is really good. Do you like noodles?
Oh, yeah. I often eat noodles for lunch. I just don't want them tonight.
Okay. Well, the chicken is great here. How about that?
Oh, no. I never eat chicken. I don't like meat.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes I have fish or eggs, but I never eat chicken or beef.
So, do you eat a lot of vegetables?
Yes. Carrots are my favorite. I often have some in the afternoon for a snack.
Okay, let me play it again for a second time. And then we
Page
check.
62. Exercise 8. Listening. Carrots are my favorite. Part A. Devon and Victoria are talking about food. How often does Victoria eat these foods? Listen and check often, sometimes, or never. So, what looks good, Victoria?
I don't know yet.
Well, the soup is really good. Do you like noodles?
Oh, yeah. I often eat noodles for lunch. I just don't want them tonight.
Okay. Well, the chicken is great here. How about that?
Oh, no. I never eat chicken. I don't like meat.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I have fish or eggs, but I never eat chicken or beef.
So, do you eat a lot of vegetables?
Yes, carrots are my favorite. I often have some in the afternoon for a snack.
Okay, good. Noodles, so what is it? She often eats noodle, right? That's the example, no problem. Yes, how about the other one, Wendy? How about chicken? How often does she eat chicken?
Never.
Okay, give me the whole sentence. Give me the long sentence.
She is never chicken.
No, yeah, but she's, remember that we had the verb eat. She's never chicken. No, she's not. Remember that we had the verb eat, right? She, subject, adverb frequency, and the verb. Wendy,
She
how?
never
She never eats
chicken.
perfect.
Chicken.
She never eats chicken. Okay, next, let me see. Daisy, how about fish?
She sometimes eat fish.
She sometimes eat fish. Okay, sounds good. And how about eggs? Let me see, Clara. How often does she eat eggs? I'm sorry?
I don't know, teacher. I don't know.
Eggs. How often does she eat eggs? Okay, don't worry. Tatiana, how often does she eat eggs?
Sometimes.
Okay, the whole
She
sentence.
sometimes eat eggs.
She sometimes eat eggs. Okay. And the last one, let me see, Mr. Carvalho. Is Carvalho here? I think he's gone. Okay, good. Let me see. Elizabeth, how often does she eat carrots?
She often eat she often eat carrots. The snack.
Carrots as a snack, right? She sometimes eats carrots as a snack. Yes, it's correct, right? So that's about it. I'm gonna send you as a survey. I'm gonna send you some exercises that you have to complete. It's about scramble, unscramble the sentences. What is the word unscramble? What do you understand when I say unscramble?
Juego de palabras.
Again, it's
Revuelto. Revuelto.
yeah, it's like you have like a scramble. A scramble is like disorganized, but unscramble is the opposite. That you have to organize. Like I'm gonna give you like some words, and then you need to put them together. That's gonna be your homework, and that I'm gonna send it to your WhatsApp group. Got it? Everybody?
Yeah.
Sorry, the rain came already. It's raining already. I can barely hear. But yes. So we're gonna I'm gonna send you those ones about organizing the sentences. So thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you next week.
So
Okay.
have an excellent
See you
weekend.
next week.
Have a nice dinner, right? Go for those pupusas. I'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay,
And the
teacher, see you Monday.
big
Weekend.
semita,
Bye.
amigos.
Comfortable.
Thank you.
Monday.
Coffee, yes.
Semita
Semita
alta.
See you
alta.
Monday.
Semita doble pico.
Yeah, the big one.
Engordamonos.
All right. All right.
Las que
Bye.
te
See you.
Baja
atoran.
Thank
con
you.
café.
Yeah, with
See you
coffee.
weekend.
See you
Bye.
weekend. Bye.